Hello everybody, welcome back to another Ultimate General Civil War video. This time we are doing the Battle of Antietam. I really want to do a very good job on this battle because I cannot tell you how many times I've practiced this just to make sure everything goes right. Upwards of 10 times probably. Oh, okay, and I already forget something. Yes, I'm gonna have my artillery hold their fire. Um, and wait for the artillery. I don't want to waste any ammo. Ammo is very crucial in this battle. That's why I put a point into logistics. After Harper's Ferry, we're going to need a lot of ammo. And every time that I've done this battle, we've run dry. Uh, not too close to the end, so want to make our shots count. And do not want to waste ammo. So I'm just going to let them go ahead and get into position. They don't know. Well, they know we're here since we let off an artillery round, but they don't know exactly where we are. And these are my 20-pounder parrots, so they are going to do a lot of damage to the enemy artillery. Every time I've done, okay, well not every time I've done this battle, but multiple times that I've done this battle, I have just completely wiped out all of their artillery, mainly with the use of my cavalry. But the artillery, especially the 1st Tennessee Heavy Artillery, has done a lot. I also need to update their name because they have 20-pounder parrots now. But yeah, so also for this video, I've done a lot of research on the Battle of Antietam. I already knew a fair bit about it, but I just wanted to make sure that this video, you guys are able to enjoy the content and learn stuff from it. So throughout the video, I will be talking about the actual Battle of Antietam. I guess I'll start after I get these guys into position here and get them firing. Now, my smooth wars, they're gonna hold their fire. The 1st Maryland Light Artillery is going to move up, and hopefully there's some artillery in their range. Yes, don't give them supplies. I mean, they have our flank, they have their flank to us, so I don't really know what that's about. They are in range, okay, good. Y'all go ahead and just start hitting Monroe, just to get the farther one out of the way quickly. And yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and just start talking about Battle of Antietam. Now, Antietam, obviously, September 17th, 1862. However, there was a fair bit of fighting on September 16th. Not heavy fighting, mainly just skirmishing, but there was a considerable amount of it. Now, it was the bloodiest day in American history. Still to this day, bloodier than 9/11, bloodier than the attacks on D-Day, Omaha Beach, things like that. This is a part of Lee's Maryland campaign, so he's hoping to invade the North and get some pressure off of the South. And he also hopes that he will get some Southern sympathizers to volunteer in his ranks, because not all of Maryland supported the Union necessarily, but if he was in the wrong part of Maryland. If he was in, I'm not sure the exact part, I think it was more eastern, but I believe, yeah, I believe it was more eastern. He could have gotten some volunteers. But yeah, he was in the wrong part of the state for that. Okay, we'll go ahead and start this back. Put Lee's brigade here. Now I am gonna bring the 2nd Division over here to reinforce because the 1st Division is gonna get 1st Division of 1st Corps is gonna get battered. Probably all 3 of these brigades will break at one point or another. Especially the Texas Brigade holding out on our left. And I am gonna do this somewhat historically, how on Nicodemus Hill the cavalry held that, Stuart held that. So we'll put Cartridge's Cavaliers in these woods here. And Quantrill's Raiders will be on the right. And then Forrest and the 6th Tennessee will be in Missouri. Okay, so we're hitting the artillery. Hitting them fairly well. Okay. So now that we have everything going in order, I'll just get back to information. Hold on, actually, something at least was spotted, because their artillery fired. And we are missing a man from the 1st Maryland Light Artillery. What is spotted? Who's spotted? Everything over here says it's not spotted, so I don't know what this is about. I'm gonna bring back 1st Maryland. And we're just gonna go ahead and knock out Matthews better. So Lee's Special Orders 191 were actually found wrapped around a pack of cigars along the side of the road, and they were given to General McClellan. Okay, what in the world are these guys doing? Okay, open up on them. We're gonna go out and we're gonna hit their artillery. Alright, I already know Matthew's battery's gonna disintegrate. Hit Ransom. Keep hitting them, keep hitting them. Don't loosen up. Okay. Very well. Alright, Kentucky. Hit them. Where's the Washington artillery? Here they are. Alright, now y'all hit Monroe. We will begin giving artillery supplies. And sooner than later, they should send the cavalry along here. Okay, Archer, then reform. Alright, start hitting the artillery. The Iron Brigade is getting, shortly will be sent back. Make sure we're not running. Okay, good. Alright, let's go ahead and hold here. I'm gonna have to watch these guys, because skirmishers in this game do have a tendency to chase after targets after they, can no longer hit them. Alright, y'all just completely fired on the wrong people. Nope, nope, stay up there. I'm honestly surprised the artillery is staying here, since they're getting hit. By our skirmishers. Okay. I'm gonna bring the, 2nd Division of 1st Corps out, just so they can be ready to launch any counterattack if needed. But anyways, back to information. So, the battle starts with, kind of like how it did here. The Union attacks Lee's left flank at the Dunker Church. I don't believe Nicodemus Hill is ever attacked. There was heavy artillery fire that happened there. Stewart and his horse artillery were putting down very effective fire onto the Federal forces. Alright, bring up the Texas Brigade. Let's get some more firepower in here. Archers facing off against 3 other brigades. Okay, Orphan Brigade, reform. Alright, y'all need to get up here, double quick. Okay. We're getting good fire on that artillery. Okay, we killed this general here. I think that was General Porter. Alright. Give them a good blow and then pull back. I don't want to chase after their artillery or their cavalry the entire battle. Alright, they are outrunning us. Go ahead and pull back. Now... Okay, we are throwing them back. Ground Brigade's down to 400 men. Yeah, so the battles begins like it has here. The Dunker Church is assaulted. Lee's left is attacked by the Federals. This is where fighting in the cornfield takes place. Hooker is repulsed. And the fighting here is very fierce, and it really comes down to who can bring in the most reinforcements and how quick they can do it. The Confederates end up getting a pretty good victory on that side of the battlefield. Every Confederate division is thrown back other than Hood's division. Eventually Hood's division is sent in, because they're the only division that didn't see the fight near this area. They were actually held in reserve because they hadn't eaten, so they had requested permission to get rations and eat. And September the 16th, the night of September 16th, it had rained, so they couldn't cook. Well, the rain lightened up about 4 o'clock, so they started cooking, and they hadn't eaten in about 3 days. So, right as they had got done cooking and were about to begin eating, they were called up to go and fight. And they were very angry about this. Okay, this is gonna be a problem. Send in Schweitzer's brigade on the double quick. I need everybody firing on him. Yes, but they were very angry about not being able to eat. So, anger, hunger, and determination leads the Texas Brigade, along with Evander Law's brigade, into the cornfield here. This is the cornfield, and they will run into John Gibbons' brigade. The Texas Brigade will run into John Gibbons' brigade, and John Gibbons' brigade being the Iron Brigade. They just earned their name 3 days earlier at South Mountain. Also, this is going to be a problem. They're not really hitting our center at the Sunken Road. They're hitting our left. Okay, you all come and extend the line on the double quick. Get up there. We need your turn back. Alright, Schweitzer, get up in there. And we're gonna launch a counterattack on our far left. But Rufus Dawes, the colonel of the 6th Wisconsin, when the Texans charged into his regiment, he stated that when the Texans charged into his men, it was like a scythe cutting through at harvest time. He captured the Irish Brigade. This time it's commanded by Francis Moore. Later it will be commanded by Patrick Kelly after he was killed at Petersburg. Did we throw the rescue threat back? I'm sure. But yes, back to what I was talking about. Stonewall Brigade is taking some heavy casualties. Where is... Here he is. Continue. Schweitzer's Brigade, doing very well. Lost about 100 men, but has thrown back a few assaults. There's Seymour's Brigade. He originally led the attack into these woods here on September 16th, I believe. Alright, come down. Alright, nothing is going to happen on Nicodemus Hill, so I'm mounting up the cavalry and sending them this way. We're gonna go for those supplies. Stonewall Brigade got broken. Okay, we need to increase the velocity of this attack. Bring Stark. Actually, hold on. Kemper, extend the flank. The Orphan Brigade is tearing through the Federals. Okay, send that. Oh wait, is it only artillery over here? Tyndale's brigade surrendered. Slocum's division is attacking. This is going to be a part of Franklin's Corps. Okay. We have calmed the assault on our left, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring these guys back. Actually, keep going that way. Maybe we can get around their flank. If we can get in their rear, that'd be quite well. Hold on, I hear melee. Okay. Gotta engage with them. So last I was talking about the 1st Texas in the cornfield. So after the Texas Brigade charged into the Iron Brigade, the Iron Brigade had completely exhausted all of their ammunition before the Texans charged in, so they ran quite quickly. They did not really stay around to fight. And they would, or the Texans would keep advancing. Along with Vander Law's brigade, they would continue advancing. And the Texas Brigade moves into the cornfield along with the Vanderlaw's Brigade. But the 1st Texas Regiment, they advance about 150 yards ahead of the rest of the Texas Brigade, and they run into 2 fresh brigades that George Meade had just delivered into the front line. And they take a ferocious volley, and Hooker had also massed some artillery on a hill in his rear, long-range guns, like 20-pounder Parrots. And the 1st Texas is slaughtered. They take the highest percent of regimental casualties out of any regiment on either side of the entire Civil War. Up to that time, the title had been held by the 5th New York, who had suffered, 5th New York Zouaves, who had suffered that at the Second Battle of Manassas. But the Texans in the 1st Texas Regiment suffer 82.6% casualties. Like I said, the most out of any regiment in the Civil War. We actually have an opportunity here to possibly surround them. Now, like I said, the 1st Texas is completely destroyed. They went into the battle with 226 men, I believe, and I believe 186 became casualties. So that leaves them with about 40 men left. The Company A destroyed. 1 man left from Company A that was in fighting shape. 2 men from Company C. 3 men from Company E. And Company F was completely destroyed. They started the day with 40 men. All 40 were killed, captured, or wounded. The Texans, who had once felt so passionate, eager, and determined to go into the fight, most of them were now slain. It was a very devastating day for the Texas Brigade. Before them, though, the 12th Massachusetts suffered 67% casualties, the highest Union regimental casualties out of any regiment, out of any Union regiment at the Battle of Antietam, and one of the highest in the war. So that just goes to show that both sides suffered very high casualties at this battle. Actually, hold on. I should probably pull these guys back. Okay, let's go ahead and start that back. Now, the place that they haven't attacked yet, for me at least, is the Sunken Road. However, that was a different case in the real battle, obviously. The Sunken Road is attacked at about 9 a.m. and the attack ends at about 1 p.m. Now, the Confederates in the Sunken Road were holding strong. They were under D.H. Hill. They were in his division. They were holding quite strong, but they eventually they were sent back because of a mistake during the reinforcing process. Misunderstood, or orders were misunderstood, and eventually all the Confederates retreated. Now, they were already taking high losses at the time they retreated, so that may have played a factor. D.H. Hill did end up reforming his division at a peach orchard right here. Can I attack this artillery? Where did the other one go? Here they are. I'm gonna go ahead and bring them through. They're about to be empty. Bring these guys through as well. But DHL does end up stemming the Confederate or the Federal attack. He's able to halt them. And they won't push him back any further. Now, at about 1 p.m., the battle for Burnside's bridge begins. Now, Burnside's 9th Corps attacks the right side of the Confederate line, and 400 Georgians from Toombs Brigade, about 2 regiments, they hold the Union 9th Corps back for hours. Multiple crucial hours are wasted, and time is burnt by the Confederates at Burnside's bridge. Eventually, the Federals do find a ford. I believe the name is Snavely's Ford. They find a ford downstream, and they are able to get on the flank of those 2 regiments, and they are driven back. And here we go. This is just what I was talking about. The Federals begin pushing towards Sharpsburg, but the town of Sharpsburg. But the Confederates end up making a makeshift battle line. Golly. I'm actually not going to try to hold this. I'll recapture that later. I am going to form a line here. Maybe we'll go this way. And then like that. And I'll have my 3rd Division on this hill in reserve. And then 4th Division comes up. If you're on Longstreet, you come down here. Third Division is right here, so yeah, fine. Okay. But, like I was saying, at this point in the day, it's not looking too good for the rebels. How many guns do they have? They have 67 guns. Have we lost any? We have not lost any. Great. I'm gonna sneak my sharpshooters around this way. So, here. So they have 4 units of artillery over here. I don't think that's it. They have, what, 60? Right? 67? They might. I mean, they're probably definitely gonna have more that come from this way. Okay, they've captured the stone bridge. And, like I was saying, the Federals end up pushing the rebels up towards Sharpsburg. But the Federals in the Ninth Corps, they are largely inexperienced. Now this corps is under Burnside and Reno. Okay, let me... Okay, hold on, they need ammo. Alright, begin firing on these guys here. We're probably gonna launch an attack on their rear. I'm gonna bring my general around this way. I believe that's gonna be the last reinforcements of the day that they get. Let me, direct some fire, because I know they're not firing on who I need them to be firing on. Actually, yeah, y'all can fire on General Mansfield. Nobody over here is over 1,000 men, so I'm not worried at all. This battle's basically won. But for the third time now, the Federals push up almost to the town of Sharpsburg, but they are largely inexperienced, so they don't make it all the way to Sharpsburg. And they are halted by the rebels. And right before they can break the line, right before they can break the Confederate line, A.P. Hill's division, moving as fast as they can go, arrives from Harper's Ferry. And they stem the Union assault. Once more, the Confederates are saved by reinforcements. I'm gonna go ahead and launch my cavalry attack. If A.P. Hill does not show up when he does, the Union likely wins this battle. We're gonna go ahead and start shooting their supplies, because I don't think we're gonna be able to capture them, so. Y'all can fire. Alright, these are our Whitworths. I don't want to lose any of them. I need y'all to hurry up. I really don't want to lose any of these Whitworths. I don't know if the AI is smart enough to target my artillery when he can see it. Hopefully he's not. It looks like they have shifted their fire to our cavalry, which is good for us. Bring the artillery closer, along with the supplies. Oh dear, the 6th Tennessee is broken. I really forgot I launched the cavalry attack. This battle doesn't require crazy micromanaging, but it does require some. Very well. Very well. Okay, attack their artillery now. I'm gonna press. I wanted them to attack the sunken road, but doesn't look like they're going to, other than maybe on this right flank. What's this? Supplies. Okay. 6th Tennessee can go get them. It's not great that we lose all these Lee mats every battle, but I mean, as long as the officers aren't going down and we're not losing like half of the regiment, it's fine, I guess. Attack. No, 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 absolutely not. No, 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 no. I'm glad I caught them before they got into melee. This is exactly what I was talking about. If you give them the chance, these guys will just attack anything. So at the end of September 17th, the battle ends, and with all of the bloodshed of 23,000 casualties, the battle ends in a draw. The Union can see some victory with this, as they have driven the Confederates out of their first attack into Northern Territory, at least the Army of Northern Virginia's first attack into Northern Territory. But there was no real victor in this. However, at the end of this battle, well, not necessarily at the end of this battle, but as a result of this battle, Abraham Lincoln presents the Emancipation Proclamation, which would free all slaves in the rebelling states if they did not rejoin the Union by by January 1st, 1863. They did not rejoin the Union, and the slaves were free, technically, and also African Americans were allowed to sign up and fight for the Union. The Army of the Potomac brought about 80,000 men to this battle. The Confederates brought anywhere from 38 to 41. Where's Hancock's experience? Pull the 12th Tennessee out. I want to destroy the rest of their artillery before this ends. Actually, we have 3 hours with it. We can get them. Alright, y'all return here. No. Attack them. The Union loses about 12,400 men. The Confederates lose about 10,300. Both sides lose a considerable amount of officers. Most of the officers are wounded. Not most of the officers that fought in battle, but most of the officers that became casualties were wounded. For the Confederates, Brigadier General William Stark is killed leading a counterattack in the West Woods. Major General Kershaw. Hey, that's funny. I have him as a Major General in this during my campaign as well. He is wounded. He's wounded, but he does continue fighting. Oh, and for this list, I didn't do officers. I only did generals, so I won't be talking about colonels. There is one colonel I will be talking about. I'll do him after I finish the officers, though. Or the generals. Bring all this cavalry over here right now. How many guns do they have left? 34? Okay. Yeah, so Kershaw is wounded, but he continues fighting. Brigadier General Roswell Ripley is wounded quite badly in his neck. Brigadier General Robert Ransom is wounded near the town of Sharpsburg and the Harper's Ferry Road. While he was leading his brigade. He did stay in battle, though. He did not quit the field. He continued leading. Brigadier General John Walker commanded a division. He is rumored to be wounded. It is not clear if he was, though. Major General Richard Anderson receives an artillery injury. Alright, go over here and get these guys. He's wounded near the sunken road and had to quit the field. Brigadier General Roger Pryor takes command of his division. Major General Howell Cobb is the last one for the Confederates. He was wounded commanding his brigade near the center of the sunken road, but he stayed in... He didn't quit the field, he stayed in the fight. Now for the Union, Major General Joseph Mansfield, a corps commander, is killed. He is shot in the chest while leading his corps' attack into the East Woods, and he dies the next day. Torbert surrendered. Who do we have next? Brigadier General Isaac Rodman, a division commander, is shot leading his division at Burnside's Bridge, and he dies 2 days later. Major General Israel Richardson is a division commander, and he is wounded by artillery while leading his division at the sunken road, and he dies in November of 1862. Hancock will take General Winfield Scott Hancock will take over his division. Hancock is probably my favorite Union commander. Corbett wrapped from the field. Hancock wrapped from the field. Where did, the other guy go? Where'd the other brigade go? These guys are low on ammo. I hear a charge going on. Okay, just hold, wait for them to charge into us. We need to press harder. Okay. Who is next? Brigadier General Brigadier General Samuel Sturgis is wounded while leading his division at Burnside's Bridge. Oh, okay, we have another melee. Maybe they'll surrender, hopefully. I doubt it. Run these supplies up here. Major General Wayne Scott is wounded. That's a 3rd Corps commander. What is it? 1st Division. 3rd Corps. So that's 2 commanders we've had wounded. Not bad for Antietam. Brigadier General George Green is wounded in action in the face, and he keeps fighting. He's wounded near the Dunkirk, on the left flank of the Confederate left flank, the Union right flank. How many guns do they have left? None. Okay, good. Let's cut off their retreat. He is commanding a brigade, and his brigade actually seizes the Dunkirk Church for a small amount of time, but they are unable to hold it, and the Confederates regain control of it. And the final Union general is Brigadier General James Nagel. He is also wounded, but he keeps fighting. So both sides had a good amount of generals wounded here. And I wanted to talk about a colonel, but I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Oh, okay. Colonel Gordon. I don't know his first name. Maybe John. Maybe Colonel John Gordon. I don't know. He is wounded at the Sunken Road 5 or 6 times before he quits the field. Now, some of these guys took 1 wound and died. Colonel Gordon took 6 and continued fighting. Or 5 and continued fighting, and after his 6th wound, he agreed to quit the field. But we have mopped them up pretty good. Alright, come on down. He better not try to retreat across the bridge, or they're in for it. Come around this way. No, 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 no. Come back, come back. Okay, y'all don't necessarily attack them, but we're gonna get up on their rear and then launch the attack. What is that? Supplies. Hold your fire. Go at them. They might surrender, they might just die. Okay, this commander's already wounded, so... What do they have? They have the Remingtons? Remingtons, yeah. Alright, go ahead and route from the field. Come on. Alright, go ahead and just charge into these guys. This is all they have left. Alright, and that is Antietam. That took... I don't believe that was as long as I expected it to be. It didn't feel like an hour and a half. Every time I do Antietam, it's a very long battle. It didn't feel like it this time, though. We only lost, like, 7,900 men. Maybe 8,000. That was honestly really good. We got all of their guns. We got all of their cavalry. Those supplies right there got away, and I'm just now realizing it. But honestly, it doesn't even matter. So, Hooker's Corps... I believe Hooker was actually one of this battle. Maybe I didn't get all of the generals. Hooker's Corps, Mansfield's Corps, Franklin's Corps, Sumner's Corps, Burnside's Corps, Pleasanton's Cavalry Corps, and Porter's Corps against my Corps, Jackson's Corps, and Longstreet's Corps. So all of our goals were complete. Orphan Brigade was our best brigade, over 3,100 kills for almost 630 losses. Lyle is wounded. Scott is wounded. Only 2 officers for a very great victory. And goods, let's see what we got. We got a great, almost 1,000 sharps from them. 40 12-pounder Napoleons, 1,500 Lorenz rifles, 3,600 Palmettos, almost 6,300 Springfield 1842s, 2,300 pattern 1853 Enfields, a lot of supplies, more supplies, even more supplies. That was really, really good. That was a really good run. Great battle right there. We get General Lee. I don't remember how many men we captured. Can I see on this over here? I can. Whoa, we captured 3,400, over 3,400 of them. What generals do we have in here? Evander Law, William Mahone. Okay, that's great. 2 historical commanders. 2 more I can add to the bunch. And we get a colonel as well. And who do we have in here? AP Hill, right? Yep, AP Hill. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, hope you guys learned something. If you want to command a brigade, put the brigade name in the comments. Let's see how many kills the cartridge cavalryers had. 284 kills for only 9 losses. The cavalry didn't see much. Actually, no, they did see a good amount of action here. Alright, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to command a brigade, put the brigade name in the comments. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.